Welcome to another tutorial in After Effects. Today we're talking about using the motion tracker to track in text. And today I'm working with this piece of drone footage that I have of a quick flyover on top of a community garden, and then the footage kind of pulls back and shows the whole garden here. So, you know, in a lot of real estate videos, having little titles or lower thirds is one way, but a popular way to call out some of the features and amenities is to track them right into the footage. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go over under tracker. We are going to click track camera, and immediately you're going to notice on our footage up here we have a 3D camera tracker, and it's just going to go ahead and start analyzing here, and we're going to see these frames update in real time. And I'm going to speed this up for you, and we'll talk in a sec. Okay, so now that we've gotten to the end here, we're going to get this prompt that it's solving camera, which means that it's going to go scrub through the length of our video and attach tracker points to areas where we can stick our text to. And you'll see when it's done, as we scroll through, you're going to see a wide variety of little tracker points appear. And it's set for these to auto detect and also to delete points across the timeline. So that way when something goes out of frame, it's just gone. So, what we can do is just kind of pick a good place. Now, one reason why it took me so long to track, one thing to keep in mind is that my composition settings are set to the size of the video clip that I took, which was 2.7K. A lot of times what you want to do is in Premiere Pro, you'll want to render out just HD 1080 video clips for this tracking, for the purpose of tracking, so that you're not tracking 4K or 2.7K footage, and you're trimming it down a little bit, because the tracker doesn't like when you try to change the size. Obviously you can nest it in here, but anyway, something to keep in mind is maybe go through and edit all the clips you want to track, and then render out versions of that are more compressed. So I kind of want to have this effect where I fly by and this text appears after I go by. So I'm going to go ahead right here, and I'm just going to create a solid and a camera. Okay, and this solid is now stuck to the ground, stuck to those bushes, those plants really. But it's obviously just kind of this big unusable blob, and really we just created it so that we can have a identifying marker for that location. So it probably makes sense for me to even scale this down a little bit so we can see exactly where the location is that it's stuck to. So it's really this second flower bed that it is attached to. So not much you can do here. I think a lot of people make the mistakes where they will create an object now and try to basically copy and paste in the position data on our track solid. So if we click on P, you'll see that we have this, it's basically created 3D position data inside of our 2D footage for it, and people kind of trying to move that around. A lot easier thing to do here is just to pre-comp this and open it up over here. And now we can change the composition settings. We don't need it to be a box. We can, if we wanted to make it 1920 by 1080, we can certainly do that. So, and we can even get rid of this and just start with a blank screen. Okay, so now I'm just going to add in a text that says community garden. And I got to adjust this so that it's centered. Okay. So now if I go back in here, you can see it, but I've scaled this way down. So we're going to want to scale this back up. And now we can make some little adjustments to it. First things first, we're going to want to have that, probably up to about 90 degrees. Let's call it 80 degrees. We'll want to rotate that slightly so it's facing the camera. And then we'll want to kind of make sure that it's perfectly fit there. We can also change the position and put it right in the middle. So now we have this effect where as as I fly by and reveal the community garden, I get a motion track text right there in the footage. And if you want to go back and add more to this, you can keep adding to it. Maybe I want to add a background, something just kind of like clean and simple. And make sure that's layered behind my text. And I can jump back in. Same thing. Let's just adjust the opacity a little bit. And back into here. So there we go. So that's a quick and easy way to add some really dynamic effects to any kind of videos you're working with, whether it's with ground footage or with drone footage. Now in this particular instance, the track worked really well because I was flying and actually moving. Just keep in mind that if you're going to be doing simple tripod moves, you're going to need to use a different type of tracking, and I'll show you that in the next tutorial.